Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: government promises consultation on Broken Hill School at risk of demolition due to mold. China sees unprecedented hurdles in keeping state secrets safe. The perilous coming age of AI warfare. Caitlin Clark's 33-point game moves her past Lynette Woodard for the major college scoring record. Who are the biggest winners and losers of the Hong Kong budget? Government promises consultation on Broken Hill School at risk of demolition due to mold. ABC. William High School in Broken Hill, New South Wales, has been plagued by infrastructure issues for years, according to a former educator. The school has been indefinitely closed due to a toxic mold infestation. The Department of Education is currently assessing the extent of the mold outbreak, with a full report set to be released in the coming weeks. The former educator stated that the school's infrastructure problems were not limited to the mold issue, but also included leaking water, inappropriate temperature regulation, and exposed pipes and wiring. The government has promised public consultation about the school's future, but local council officials are concerned that the education minister has not consulted with elected officials before making this promise. China sees unprecedented hurdles in keeping state secrets safe. Bloomberg. China's National Administration of State Secrets Protection has warned of unprecedented risks and challenges in safeguarding national secrets as the country seeks to more securely protect classified information. President Xi Jinping has been ramping up efforts to enhance national security and protect state secrets, expanding the legal framework around sensitive information and enacting a sweeping data security law. The recent revisions to the state secrets law include emphasizing the Communist Party's control over secret-keeping work, accelerating education on the issue, and encouraging innovation in secret-keeping technology. The amended law will take effect in May. The perilous coming age of AI warfare. Foreign affairs. The deployment of fully autonomous weapons is becoming increasingly feasible, as evidenced by the Ukrainian drone company Saker's claims to have developed a drone capable of carrying out autonomous attacks. The lack of international agreement on regulations to limit such weapons is concerning, as it raises the risk of wars expanding beyond human control and resulting in higher casualties. While a wholesale ban may be unrealistic, there are practical regulations that can be implemented to mitigate the dangers posed by autonomous weapons. Without limits, the world could be headed towards a future of dangerous, machine-driven warfare. Currently, militaries use partially autonomous weapons in limited, defensive circumstances. However, the development of autonomous weapons has been slow due to procurement processes. The conflict in Ukraine has accelerated innovation in drone technology, prompting the development of countermeasures such as electronic warfare systems that target the human operators of drones. The value of autonomous drones lies in their independence from vulnerable communications links. To counter these drones, efforts must be focused on locating and destroying the drones themselves. Different conflicts will lead to the development of various autonomous weapons. For example, combat drones could target air defenses or mobile missile launchers, while ground robots or fixed gun emplacements could also be equipped with autonomous weapons. The use of swarms of drones that autonomously coordinate their actions could also become a reality. These developments will lead to a new era of machine-driven warfare, with significant consequences. Efforts to regulate autonomous weapons have been ongoing, with discussions taking place at the UN Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons, CCW, since 2014. However, progress has been slow, with major military powers like Russia and the United States opposing a ban on autonomous weapons. The UN General Assembly has now been tasked with preparing a report on autonomous weapons, which could be a step towards negotiating a treaty. In the meantime, countries can pursue complementary initiatives to reduce the threat posed by autonomous weapons, including establishing minimum necessary human involvement in lethal decision-making, banning autonomous weapons that target people, and adopting best practices for testing military AI systems. Additionally, a focus on ensuring human control over nuclear weapons and implementing uniform rules for autonomous drones can help mitigate risks. Global cooperation is essential in addressing the harms of autonomous weapons and setting the stage for future collaboration on weaponized AI. Caitlin Clark's 33-point game moves her past Lynette Woodard for the major college scoring record. Associated Press. Caitlin Clark has become the highest-scoring major college women's basketball player of all time, surpassing Lynette Woodard's record of 3,649 points. Clark achieved the feat during Iowa's 108-60 victory over Minnesota, scoring 33 points to take her career total to 3,650. Woodard played for Kansas from 1977 to 81, before the NCAA sanctioned women's basketball. Clark had already broken the overall NCAA women's scoring record earlier this month, surpassing Kelsey Plum's 3,527 points. Who are the biggest winners and losers of the Hong Kong budget? South China Morning Post. Hong Kong's Financial Secretary Paul Chan-Mopa has unveiled a budget that prioritizes investment in digital and green initiatives to foster long-term growth. The budget scraps consumption vouchers and subsidies for electricity bills and university entrance exams. Chan also lifted property curbs, boosting land and housing supply and stabilizing slumping property prices. He plans to help finance government operations by seeking the Legislative Council's approval to withdraw 59 billion Hong Kong dollars, $7.6 billion, from the city's future fund and raise 95 billion Hong Kong dollars to 130 billion Hong Kong dollars annually through the sale of bonds. The budget forecasts GDP growth of 2.5% to 3.5% in 2024. Things to know about Idaho's botched execution of serial killer Thomas Eugene Creech. Associated Press. A 73-year-old convicted serial killer in Idaho has been spared from execution after prolonged efforts to find a vein in which to inject the lethal drugs failed. Thomas Eugene Creech was granted a stay of execution by a federal judge after medical staff tried 8 times to establish an 4-line but were unsuccessful. Creech was sentenced to death for the 1981 beating death of a fellow inmate who was serving time for car theft. The botched execution attempt is the latest in a series of problems that U.S. states have had when carrying out the death penalty by lethal injection. Some pharmaceutical companies have restricted sales of their drugs for use in executions, thereby making access a challenge for states. In response, Idaho lawmakers have authorized execution by firing squad if lethal injection is not available. However, this has also been challenged legally. In other states, such as Alabama and Oklahoma, there have been problems with 4 lines during executions, raising questions over the use of lethal injection as a method of capital punishment. Young scores 13, number 24 UNLV women rally in fourth quarter to defeat Boise State 63-57. Associated Press. Number 24 UNLV defeated Boise State 63-57 in women's college basketball on Wednesday night. UNLV used a late 10-0 run to secure the win, with Desiree Young leading the way with 13 points. The Lady Rebels clinched the league title in their previous game and now have a 10-game winning streak. UNLV had a below-average scoring performance in this game, but their defense was able to hold off Boise State. Tatum Thompson led Boise State with 14 points. UNLV will next face San Diego State, while Boise State will play Air Force. Beekman scores 18, Virginia survives late rally in 72-68 win over Boston College. Associated Press. Reese Beekman had 18 points and 8 assists to help lead the University of Virginia men's basketball team to a 72-68 victory over Boston College. Quinton Post of Boston College scored 24 points and had 10 rebounds in the losing effort. The game was close throughout, with several lead changes in the second half. Virginia made 3 consecutive three-pointers to take a 57-51 lead, and they held on to secure the win. Virginia will face Duke next, while Boston College will host Pittsburgh. English Council's demand for rebuild of 200-year-old wonky pub could do more damage than good. ABC. The owners of a pub in central England have been ordered to rebuild it after it was destroyed by fire and demolished without permission. The Crooked House in the village of Himlay was a local landmark because of its slant, the result of the ground sinking after extensive coal mining in the area. Professor of Architecture Anthony Burke said the task of rebuilding the 1765 farmhouse is a nightmare because the building standards required to make it safe no longer exist. He said the community would be unlikely to embrace a rebuilt pub, but suggested other ways to respect its heritage. IDing the most polarizing QB this draft season and future of Army-Navy in expanded CFP. Yahoo! Dan Wetzel, Ross Dellinger, and Pat Ford discuss the relevance of the NFL scouting combine and debate which quarterback in the current draft process will become the standout prospect for the 2024 NFL Draft. They analyze the college careers of the top quarterbacks and discuss which skills will translate to the NFL. The trio also discusses the future of the Army-Navy game in an expanded college football playoff, CFP, world and the potential impact of a larger playoff on the game's scheduling. Wetzel shares a bizarre bathroom story from the start of the college baseball season and gives his thoughts on his alma mater, UMass, joining the Mid-American Conference, MAC. The podcast ends with the hosts reacting to a story about a women's college lacrosse referee who had an unfortunate accident on the field. Prestigious scientific medal shows how China lures talented researchers home. South China Morning Post. Hao Jihua, a geochemistry professor at the University of Science and Technology of China, has been awarded the Geochemical Society's F.W. Clark Award for his outstanding contribution to geochemistry or cosmochemistry. Hao's rapid academic rise after spending several years in postdoctoral positions abroad highlights China's efforts to attract talented scientists back to the country. His success also reflects China's investment in basic science and the relatively lower pressure on returnees to apply for grants compared to overseas. Hao's research focuses on the origin of life on Earth and the habitability of other planets. Blizzard warning of up to 10 feet of snow in the Sierra could make travel dangerous to impossible. The Toronto Star. A powerful winter storm is expected to hit California, bringing blizzard conditions, heavy snowfall, and strong winds. The National Weather Service has issued a blizzard warning for a 300-mile stretch of the Sierra, and snowfall of up to 10 feet in the mountains near Lake Tahoe is predicted. Widespread blowing snow is expected to create whiteout conditions, making travel extremely dangerous. Road closures and power outages are also likely. Ski resorts in the area are preparing for the heavy snow, while locals are filling up on fuel and supplies in preparation for the storm. Santa Fe Community College faculty pushes board for higher wages. Yahoo! Santa Fe Community College, SFCC, faculty members have demanded higher pay as part of ongoing collective bargaining between the college and the faculty union. Full-time faculty members at SFCC earn about $63,000 per year on average, with starting pay around $49,000. This is less than what first-year teachers in K-12 public schools earn in the state. For many SFCC faculty members, the low pay does not allow them to live in Santa Fe. They have either moved to Albuquerque to reduce housing costs or taken on additional jobs. Thursday's time schedule. Associated Press. The article provides a schedule of upcoming sports events including NBA, NHL, and college basketball games. It lists the teams and the times of each game. Caitlin Clark's record-setting night fuels number 6 Iowa in 108-60 win at Minnesota. Associated Press. Caitlin Clark broke the all-time women's scoring record in major college basketball by scoring 33 points and posting her 17th career triple-double in Iowa's victory over Minnesota. Clark also broke the NCAA single-season record for three-pointers made with a total of 156. She now has 3,650 career points, surpassing Lynette Woodard's previous record of 3,649. Gabby Marshall also reached the career 1,000-point mark in the same game. Despite the win, Iowa was eliminated from contention for the Big Ten regular season title earlier in the evening. Hello, viewers. It's your friendly neighborhood 6 Doctor here, back with another roundup of news from around the world. Let's dive right in. In Australia, the government has promised to consult the public about the future of Williama High School in Broken Hill, which has been closed indefinitely due to a toxic mold infestation. Local council officials are concerned about the lack of consultation with elected officials before this promise was made. I guess they wanted to make sure the government didn't skip class on this one. In China, the National Administration of State Secrets Protection has warned of unprecedented risks and challenges in safeguarding national secrets. President Xi Jinping has been working hard to enhance national security and protect classified information, even enacting a sweeping data security law. I guess you could say they're keeping their secrets under lock and key, or should I say, under Xi and key. The deployment of fully autonomous weapons is becoming increasingly feasible, with Ukrainian drone company Saker claiming to have developed a drone capable of carrying out autonomous attacks. This raises concerns about the lack of international regulations on limiting such weapons, and the potential for wars to expand beyond human control. Looks like we might be trading in by land, sea, and air for by land, sea, air, and AI. In sports news, Caitlin Clark has become the highest-scoring major college women's basketball player of all time, surpassing Lynette Woodard's record of 3,649 points. Talk about shooting for the stars and making a slam dunk. Hong Kong's budget has prioritized investment in digital and green initiatives to foster long-term growth. It also includes lifting property curbs and stabilizing slumping property prices. Looks like they're building a budget that's future-proof, or should I say, future green. In the U.S., a 73-year-old convicted serial killer in Idaho has been spared from execution after multiple failed attempts to find a vein for lethal injection. The state has authorized execution by firing squad if lethal injection is not available. I guess you could say this execution went from lethal injection to lethal ejection. That's all the news for today, folks. Remember, I'm always here to bring you the latest and greatest from the 6 Degrees world. And now, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these news stories? Do you have any burning questions for the 6th Doctor? Let's get the conversation started. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.